Hey folks, Dave back here, and as promised, a little after 11:30 tonight, we have our unboxing tonight. What is the mystery season that I was talking about? So we're gonna unbox that here tonight and see what it is. So we do have our box here. So let me go to my overhead feed here, and I think we kind of set it up like this, don't we? Yeah. So here's my box with um with all my goodies in it. Alrighty. So this is what's in the box. All kinds of things. Okay, so I want to thank Uncle Ron first off for giving me a gift certificate for my birthday, and I got to thank the play-by-play crew for finally sending me my last check, so I was able to get some stuff. And boy, I needed this tonight. I uh, I lost my cool tonight. It was playoffs, and I told the guys I'm not going to be taking any more guff. And somebody gave me some guff, and I lost my crap tonight. Got my point across. I lost my crap. So anyway, so I need this puck. And I know I said it last week too. Playoffs are just such a tough time for me. Alrighty. So what do we got here? So look at this. So I have some things here. Alrighty. So what is this? What is this? This is uh well, it looks like it's 1986 Boston Red Sox. So yeah, you know what I did? I picked up the World Series teams, okay? I this was bought, like I said, only about a week or so ago. So this is the Red Sox. Boy, it's kind of in reverse order here. It's kind of neat. Spike Owen, Hoffman. Oh, we have a Gardner on the team. How about that? And there's Roger Clemens, who's not doing too well on my replays, as if you saw the video today. Then you got the Mets. They got Ojeda and Mazzilli and Ray Knight, and all these guys here. So I got the '86 World Series team, so I can play the World Series here. Maybe I get 86 in APA. Maybe. Like I say, that product, it didn't work out too good for me uh, in payoff pitch or strat. So I don't know if I want to keep doing the 86 season here, but this is what I got. Right. So there's that. What else is in the box? I might come down a little bit. Hang on a sec. I'm going to come down just a tad, and then we'll move that over like that so you can see a little bit better. All right. Oh, so I have another one of these. What is this one? Let's crack this one open as Ron McGrath comes by, and Glenn Victor. Thanks for coming by as I do another kind of unboxing here. This was my big one. This is my last one here, probably for a while until there's a new Apple football season. Oh, but here we go. What do we got here? All right, so I have 1975 Cincinnati. Yeah, so we're gonna do this Carlton Fisk. Go go go. So it's 75. So I get the 75 World Series. Alrighty. I didn't, like I say, I didn't want to get 75 baseball. All right. I baseball late. I get into hockey first and then football. Then baseball was the last thing I get into. So baseball really was like a 77, 78 type of thing. So, but I was aware of this. I didn't really watch it, but of course I remember the World Series because of, Boston and the whole bit. But this was a little bit before my time. But it's still think it's going to be fun to play. So of course I get two World Series here, and they're both Red Sox losses. Go figure. You think I would try to get 2004 or whatever. One of the reasons why I got 2004 in Strat. One of the reasons why I didn't want to get it in anything else, because I don't think the Sox in 2004 would get by the Yankees in that series with the cards. Okay, so that's why I haven't got that card set there. All right, so let me take the envelopes and move the envelopes out of the way, because this will give it away. If you see the envelopes, and this will give it away. So I'm not going to show you the envelopes. So what else is in this box, you're saying? All right, well, of course, I'm going to save the mystery season for last. So what we need to do is go here. So we need to pick this one up here. And let's see what that is. Okay, so let's slide this off to the side over here. Let's open this box here. And I don't know about you guys, but like when you guys do unboxing videos, I love them. You know what this is? this is kind of like picture if we had like cameras and stuff and Zoom and StreamYard when we were kids opening Christmas presents. That's what this is like. It's kind of like, oh, what'd you get? Oh, I get this for Christmas. Oh, it's great. Look, I get this, and you kind of sharing it on live video. That's what this is. This is kind of um opening Christmas presents. That's kind of how I compare this. All right, so let's see. What did I get here? I kind of went out of my comfort zone again. This is not the mystery season, but this is one I picked up. I hemmed and hawed over this, and I says I'm finally going to get it. So I got 2010, 2011 hockey cards. Alrighty. And this was the season that the Bruins won the cup. And there's a couple reasons why I got this one, aside from Boston. Okay, so again, this is really why I bought it, and this card comes right up. Is Patrice Bergeron? Okay, I really wanted to play some Patrice Bergeron. Okay, because I don't really have too much with the Bergeron, and he was just like so good in Boston. So, oh boy, hang on a sec here. Oh, we're gonna lose this again. There we go. Come on. There we go. Let me put that in an angle here. So here's my Buffalo team. So there's the Boston team. Anybody else over here? Yeah, a couple of more Boston here. All right, so that's the end of Atlanta. All right. So yeah, so a couple other things here why I got this season. Well, again, I've done a ton of videos trying to explain Apple hockey, and if that point there, if you don't get it, yeah, then it's not the game for you, and that's okay. It doesn't have to be the game for you. So I got Boston here. Boy, it seems like there should be more cards here, but Tim Thomas and Tuukka Rask, those are the goalies here. Sean Thornton. Let me put him up here so you can see him a little bit better. Seidenberg and Sagan. He's still playing. Mark Savard, Michael Ryder, come over from Montreal. Mark Recchi, Rich Peverley. Rich Daniel Paille. These guys are just monsters. Brad Marchand. I know people can't stand that guy. Lucic was on the team. Krejci, Chris Kelly. He had the broken foot. Kampfer, Cabriolet, Nathan Horton, Nighty, Zach Hamill. I don't remember. Andrew Ferentz, Chara. See, a lot of these guys I wanted to play. I wanted to play, the Bergerons and the Charas. Johnny Boychuk, Bergeron, Matt Barkowski. I don't remember. But there's a lot of guys on this team that I really did want to play. Alrighty. And the other thing I wanted to do is the Dustin Byfuglien, all right, for Atlanta. What's my thing I was looking at over here? So there's a couple of teams that I kind of wanted, I kind of didn't, but I kind of did want to play. And one of them was the Atlanta team, because they're gone now. So the Atlanta Thrashers. So I have another team that doesn't exist anymore in the Atlanta Thrashers. So that's what I wanted to do. Also, Columbus Blue Jackets will probably never make my table much, but I would play them here in this season, here in 2010, 2011. I would play a little bit of Columbus, but it's nice to have it, the Atlanta Thrashers, in this set here. So I got the Bruins. We'll play the Canucks for sure. I got the Atlanta Thrashers in here. What other team to go? Oh, I'm definitely going to play the playoffs. We got the Bruins Canadians, the Bruins Lightning. That was some fantastic stuff. As I'm looking over here at the Pro Hockey reference page here. So just to play Boston, Montreal, Boston, Tampa. They swept the Flyers. I guess I could play that too. But there was also the Sharks and the Red Wings, and the Sharks knocked out the Red Wings, and then they lost to Vancouver. So I could potentially. I'm looking at this Sharks Vancouver series, and with the Sharks, Patrick Marleau, Joe Thornton, Joe Pavelski, Logan Couture. Antti Niemi in the net. I need to play a Bruins Sharks what if Stanley Cup. So many reasons why I got 2010, not just for the Bruins, but for a few other reasons. I did pick up 2010. Again, it's way out of my comfort zone, but it is one season that I wanted to get so I could play, like I say, the Atlanta Thrashers When did they actually leave? Actually, so I'm looking at the Atlanta Thrashers here, and they played. Oh, that's it. That's their last season. This is the last Thrashers season, so that's kind of interesting. So this is the last season for the Thrashers, and then in 2011 they moved to Winnipeg. Oh, so that's kind of interesting. So I got the last Atlanta Thrashers season here as well. So there's a few different reasons why I picked up this season. I didn't even realize that. I knew they had Atlanta, but I didn't know it was their last season. So I got the last season for the Thrashers. I got some Bruins. Definitely going to be a Bruins Sharks what if Stanley Cup. So yeah, so I did pick up a very modern season, at least for me, for Apple Hockey. So that was the hockey. And now let me go back to the chat here. So Ron McGrath came by, Glenn Victor. Gary likes the hat. Yeah, well, there's a reason why I have this hat on right here, Gary, and I'm going to get to that in 1 second. And first World Series I remember was at the 75. I think we were talking about that. And let me see here. He was 20 years old, one of his favorite seasons. And Victor, hi, Dave, in Pittsburgh and going back to Cohasset, Mass. Oh, interesting. Yeah, so you'll be right up in my neck of the woods. Mike comes by. Thanks, Mike. And Texas Ag still struggling with the Apple Hockey. Again, it's just if you play the baseball or the football, it flows kind of like that. And Joshua, 2010 Bruins, nice. Yeah, the current Bees need to channel some of that killer instinct. Yeah, they couldn't put them away tonight. We had, like I said, I was refereeing tonight at the rink, but scorekeeper had the game on the phone, and she was updating me on the score. And as a Bostonian living in Vancouver in the spring of 2011, you were doubly intense. Yeah, you better, kind of, yeah, I wouldn't want to be a Boston fan out in Vancouver at that point. That was nutty out there. And the Wings swept Phoenix, then dropped the heartbreaker in Game 7 to the Sharks. Oh, that's the other thing, Phoenix. I might, who's on that Phoenix team? So I'm going to go over here. So I'm looking at that Phoenix thing, Detroit, Phoenix. Oh, yeah, they swept Phoenix 4-0. Who was on that Phoenix team? Shane Doan, Rabada, Yandel, Ray Whitney, Lee Stepniak, I kind of know. Oh, Joe Vanosky was on that team. Brizgalov with a goal. Yeah, I might play some Coyotes here as well. So there's a few teams I'd be interested in playing. When I look at the skaters, the only one that stands out at me as far as points is only a 100-point score, and that was Daniel Sedin at 104. And Marty St. Louis from Tampa, he had 99, and then Corey Perry of Anaheim had 98. When I'm looking at goalies, if I want to look at wins, Luongo from Vancouver, Carey Price from Montreal. Okay, so Carey Price is on here. Marc-Andre Fleury was with Pittsburgh. Jonathan Quick was with LA. Oh, interesting. So we had some good times there. There's going to be a lot of fun to be had in that season. All righty. So now, this is the mystery season. All righty. Anybody, before I unveil, and Jeff comes by. Hi, Jeff. Anybody want to guess at the mystery season? Before I reveal, does anybody want to guess at what it is? I will give you a hint. It is football. Okay? It is football. So I'll give you guys a couple seconds while I cut the tape off, and then I will unveil. I keep saying veal. I must be looking for a veal sandwich, right? I'm going to unveil it. I'm going to unveil it. All righty. What is the mystery season? Yes, it is football. I will give you a hint. It is football. I'm interested to know if anybody could guess it, because this is something really not crazy, but I was kind of surprised when I said I was researching seasons that I settled on this one, because there was so many others I wanted to get. I already have 76 and 81. So people who said 76 and 81, I already have that. I do have 84 too. I traded for 76 and 84. So I didn't buy them, but I traded for them. So what do we think here? Oh, no guessing twice. Max Cornelius is cheating. He's guessing twice. And okay, so I'll give one more hint because no one's hit it yet. It was in stock. It's something that you can buy. All right, so this is something that you can absolutely buy on the Apple website. It's a new season. I mean, it's been a remade season. It's not an older one. It's something you can buy. All righty. So I'm going to take a quick sip of my new raspberry drink here. So I found a special today, so I'm going to try the raspberry. So you guys keep guessing. Mike, 80's coming out soon. That's going to be the next one I get because it's not made yet. So I will be unboxing an 80 whenever that's in stock. I don't know if that's going to be in a month or 6 months, but I will get 80. All right. So we've had some good guesses, but we haven't hit it on the head yet. Or maybe we have. Maybe somebody did guess it. All righty. So I'm getting ready for the. All right, this is box 2. So we're going to put box 2 over here, and this is box 1, and I will unveil that in 1 second. Okay. We may have a winner here in the chat room. Okay. I don't want to say who it is, but we may have a winner. All righty. Excuse me. Are you ready? The season I picked up for Apple football is. It is 1975. So Texas Ags, congratulations to you for guessing it. I did. I picked up 1975. And so Ron Juckett's going to be probably a little surprised out of that one there that I picked 75 because I do have 76 and but I went with 75 for several reasons, okay? All righty. So let me just back this up out of here. So a couple of reasons why I went with this season here. Let me go to my 75 page. Okay. I want to play the Pittsburgh Dallas Super Bowl. Okay. That's one thing I want to do. I want to play that Super Bowl. Okay. There's just so many just great names here in 75. Where's my Dallas? I know I have 76 and it's similar. See, I got Joe Ferguson for Buffalo. Buffalo's a good team there. This must be his Chicago. I wonder if I can get to Dallas and Cleveland. A lot of Clevelands here. Here's Dallas. All righty. I mean, there's just so many. Dallas. Brian Sipe, Jerry Sullivan. Now I'm on to Dallas. Okay, so Dallas. Then Denver. Okay, so it is Dallas. I mean, that was one of my Super Bowls that sticks out for me. Like one of my first Super Bowls was 75. And just there's a few other teams that I want to play. So I want to play that Pittsburgh Colts playoff game. I want to play the Cowboys Rams playoff game. That was in Los Angeles, and the Cowboys crushed them 37-7. And of course, the Pittsburgh Oakland series was just so good in the 70s. You just got to do that. Now, this was before my beloved Buccaneers. So that's what I'm gonna have some fun here playing some pre-Buccaneers here. But we look at Dallas here, and I'll just put them on this for right now. But you got Benny Barnes and Bob Brunig. Who else you got here? Pat Donovan, I think I remember him. Billy Joe Dupree, John Fitzgerald, the center. Tony Frisch, the kicker. Cliff Harris was a safety, I believe. Mitch Hoops has 2 cards here. Ron Howard from Happy Days is on the team. Randy Hughes, Too Tall Jones. Scott Laidlaw, the fullback. Harvey Martin on the end. I mean, the names are just great. Newhouse, Drew Pearson, Preston Pearson. I mean, this is just unbelievable. Jethro Pugh, Renfro, Golden Richards, Staubach, Charlie Waters, Randy White. I mean, this is just I love this Dallas team. It's just going to be so fun to play them. So I always play bad teams. So when I have a good team, it's just so awesome to play. So, I got the Dallas team here. What else we got? Kansas City, Los Angeles. Yeah, let me check out that Los Angeles team because that's another team that I'm going to want to play. And there was just so many teams. And it was, and the other thing was, it was different enough from 76 because I have 76 and I love that. But this season was different enough from 76. You got the Oakland Cincinnati playoffs, which was fun. The Patriots were 3-11 that season, and I know Al likes 74 for Plunkett, but this was kind of was this Grogan's first year? No, Plunkett played a little bit. Okay, he started 5. Grogan started 4, so I could kind of go back and forth between the two of them and play some Patriots games if I wanted to. So Plunkett's still on the team. He's just not as good as when Grogan was coming up. You got the New Orleans Saints, who are absolutely dreadful with Archie Manning. So if I wanted to play some Saints, I could play some 2-12 Saints. In fact, they were the first team to lose to the Buccaneers. That's how bad the Saints were. The Cardinals were really good. As I'm looking at the Cardinals here on Pro Football Reference, Jim Hart, Otis Metcalf. I know I'm playing them in 78, but this was just 75 stuck out. It's just something about this season. So here's the Rams now. Cullen Bryant, Capoletti. Who else was there? Tom Dempsey, the field goal kicker. Fred Dreyer, Elmendorf. Fanning, I remember. Who else is there? Harold Jackson before he went to New England. Ron Jaworski was actually a backup quarterback. There's so many kind of cool things about this season here. Jesse Jones, Rick Kay. Trying to think of anybody else here. Lawrence McCutcheon was very good. Merlin Olsen. I didn't realize Merlin Olsen was on the Rams. No way, Merlin Olsen on the Rams. That is pretty cool. Before I remember him from the TV, obviously. Jack Reynolds was on here. I think the Youngbloods too, right? So you got Jack Youngblood and Jim Youngblood. Yep. I got some Miami over here, so I can't mix that up. So yeah, so there's your Los Angeles team. Now, the other team I wanted to do here, I wanna sneak this in real quick, okay? So this is my Houston. All right, so this is wow, a lot of Kansas City guys here. This is another reason why I got it. Okay, one of the other reasons I picked up this season is this right here. Len Dawson was still kind of kicking around with Kansas City. Now, Kansas City was 5-9, but Len Dawson, at 40 years old, did play in 12 games, and he started 5 of them. So I was really kind of looking forward to playing some Len Dawson here with the Kansas City Chiefs. Merlin also was paused. Rams fearsome foursome. Okay, that's okay. I was not aware of that. Again, this is just a little bit before me, but that's cool. So when I was going through the teams, I was like, Len Dawson, I would absolutely play a one-off or whatever it is. I'm tempted to, after I play my 78 season, which is going to take me a while, is to work in some 75 and play the whole season out. Again, we're talking long-term and the whole bit, but this is definitely, one season that I would absolutely play, and I would love playing it from beginning to end. And it's a little bit out of my wheelhouse, but it's still, I'm really excited to get this season. Let me check my passing here. So let me go. Ken Anderson. So I got the hat on. Fran Tarkenton. That's another reason I got this one here. So let me see if I can find any more teams here that I'm really interested in playing. And again, as I was going through this, my eyes were just lighting up with all the players on here. And this is kind of some of my first memories of football. It was this right here. Garo Yepremian with Miami. So here's the 75 Miami. So I get Miami here. Now, let's take a look at Minnesota here. All righty. I don't know if I want to look at New England. They're pretty bad in 75. It's amazing how good they got in 76, but in 75 they were pretty bad. So let's let me bring back my top of my box over here. So here's Miami. We'll slide Miami out of the way, and I like how you got a ton of cards with this one here. So, and the other thing was, Billy Kilmer was the quarterback for Washington. I would like to play some Billy Kilmer. Bradshaw was 27. Grogan was 22 here. Greasy was 30 years old. Roman Gabriel was with Philadelphia. So I'd like to play some. I want to play some of these older quarterbacks. Steve Spurrier was with San Francisco before he, moved to Tampa Bay next season. Poor guy. What do we have here for Minnesota? I just played them the other day too. Fred Cox is your kicker. Chuck Foreman. Let's see. I'm not recognizing too many of these guys here. Bob Lee, backup quarterback. Jim Wrongway Marshall's on this, I want to only play a game now. Yeah, I'd love to, but it's just too tired after work. So I just kind of wanted to go through this. I was so looking forward to going through this tonight. Anybody else here that I remember here on the Vikings? Guys are not jumping out at me. Of course, Fran Tarkenton. I thought I knew more Vikings than that, but now we get Fran Tarkenton, and that's good enough for me. Well, how about the Patriots? I know all Red Sox fans going to want to know about the Patriots. So what do we got here? Alrighty, so, and it's weird how they were so different in '76. Joe Cap, okay, yep, yeah, Roman Gabriel, yeah, so I haven't got to Philadelphia yet. Sam Adams and Julius Adams. Donnie Calhoun is running like a beast for me in my '78 Patriots. Sam Bam Cunningham. Russ Francis. Oh, they do have the third quarterback, Neil Graff. They had three quarterbacks. They had Grogan, Plunkett, and Graff, and they do have Graff in here. I was kind of surprised on that. So there's Grogan, Sugar Hamilton, Hannah, Sam Hunt, a linebacker, Andy Johnson, got two cards. Bill Lankaitis, a center, Mel Lunsford, the end, Prentice McCray, Steve Nelson, of course we know, Jim Plunkett, there he is. So we'll play some Plunkett. Is Heron a running back for the Patriots? I didn't see him. I can go by again, but I didn't see him in there. John Smith, kicker, Darryl Stingley, Randy Vataha. So this team was not that good. Did I see a Heron in there? Grogan, Hamilton, Howard. No, I did not see. Yeah. This is a 75 season. So there's the Patriots over here. I do want to take a look at a couple of these other teams here. So New Orleans. We're not going to look at New Orleans. We're not going to look at the Jets either. Not a lot of Jets here in the pack. Or at least doesn't feel that way. Giants. Oh, I don't think I'm going to do Giants. At least I'm not going to open them right now. I did want to get to here's another good one here. Again, those Oakland Pittsburgh teams were just so phenomenal. They were really fun to play. All right, Philadelphia. All right, so let's take a look at Oakland 75. And so we got Atkinson with a couple of cards, Banaszak, Freddie Bolitnikoff. He was so good. See, George Blanda, that's the other thing, is there's a lot of quarterbacks that I grew up hearing about, and I just don't remember quite seeing them. And so, Blanda and Lenny Dawson. So some of these guys are still here in 75. And so I think it'd be kind of great to play these old guys here. And I don't mean that disrespectfully. I just mean that's what they, when I grew up, they were kind of on the tail end of their careers. Cliff Branch is on here. Dave Casper and the Holy Roller. Neil Cozy. Dave Dalby. I know these guys. Ray Guy, the kicker. Ted Hendricks was the lineman there. David Hum, another backup quarterback. Another quarterback here, Larry Lawrence. They got a lot of quarterbacks on the team. What else we got here? Art Shell was a tackle. Otis Sistrunk. And you got the Snake was quarterback. Jack Tatum, go right by him. Gene Upshaw, Mark Van Egan. So, yeah. So, some really great guys here on the Oakland team as well. Now, let's check out Philadelphia. All right, let's check out Philadelphia, shall we? And let's see if we can find anybody on that team that I want to play. All righty, so Joe Capps last season with Boston in 1970. Okay, so I'm not going to find him. So Philadelphia, anybody here that we see? I didn't know them too well. Harold Carmichael. I know Harold Carmichael. And Harold Carmichael and the Eagles were 4-10. So, yeah, so I'm not going to know a lot of people on the Eagles here at 4-10. See, now there's Roman Gabriel. So I would like to I'd like to get in a game with him. So if I go to the Philadelphia page and I'm taking a look over here. So Roman Gabriel was 35. He started 9 games. So he was like their main quarterback. Okay, so yeah, so Roman Gabriel will get some time here on the channel. And again, I'd like to do a full 75 season here, or at least in like I'm doing 78 every game, and I'm taking my time with that. And I'm also doing the 76 bucks, just the bucks only. And then I could start this one, at some point too, and just kind of chip away at this. Anybody else here that I might know? Not really. So, Roman Gabriel might be the only guy I know. Keith Krepfel I've seen before. Wow, maybe that's why they were in last places. They don't have anybody here that I know. Yeah, just not being a Philadelphia fan in 75. I guess I don't know anybody aside from Roman Gabriel. Yeah, nobody jumping out at me here as a. I mean, not saying there's not, but I just don't recognize anybody. Interesting. So here's the Super Bowl champs right here. All right, so let me get rid of some of the St. Louis team. St. Louis was always such a good team. They just never ever could cross the finish line. They were kind of like they were worse than the Vikings. The Vikings at least got to the Super Bowl. St. Louis had all these great teams and they won the division and never did anything. All right, so let's take a look at the Steelers now. So we have John Banaszak, Rocky Blyer. He's fun to play. Mel Blount, the cornerback. And of course, there's Bradshaw with a 2 on a 66 and a 2 on an 11. So that's kind of automatic touchdowns. A 3 on the 33. So that's not automatic. Dave Brown and Larry Brown. Who else is on that team? Roy Gereller is your kicker. Gilliam is your backup quarterback. Mean Joe Green there on the defense. L.C. Greenwood, Randy Grossman, Jack Ham. I mean, that's just like a Hall of Fame right there. It's no wonder why they won it. Franco Harris. I mean, give me a break. Jack Lambert. I mean, this is fun right here. This is like the big reason why I got 75. Donnie Shell, Starworth, Swan. And Mike Webster, the center, and Dwight White. Yeah, we remember Dwight White. So yeah, so this is going to be fun here, 75, because it's not going to be, you're not going to be beating up on the Buccaneers and the Seahawks. This is before the expansion, and so now you're going to be, you're going to have to, beat some good teams if you want to win, and so it's going to be kind of fun checking that out. What else do I have over here? San Diego and San Francisco. Oh, here's Washington. I want to check out Washington. I don't know why, but I like the NFC East. I've always liked the NFC East. All right, so we're going to come over here and we're going to check out Washington. Let's see who we have here on the Pittsburgh Dallas is going to be a fun game. I agree, Trev. So we got Anderson, Arneson, Mike Bass. Remember, he caught the touchdown pass from Garo Yepremian in the Super Bowl. That's how I remember Mike Bass. That might be a fun one. It's kind of rematch these guys, Miami and Washington in 75. Let's see here. Eddie Brown's got a couple of cards. Dave Butts, a tackle. Anybody else here I might know? Holy cow, a lot of these guys I don't know. Kenny Houston sounds familiar. Randy Johnson's one of the quarterbacks. There's Billy Kilmer right there. So I want to play some Billy Kilmer. I always like Billy Kilmer. So I'll get him in. So let me just check here. If I go to my Redskins here, and they finished 8-6. They didn't make the playoffs. Billy Kilmer started 12 games. Theismann got into 14 games, but he didn't start any of the games. So it was Kilmer and Johnson. And then Theismann was 26 at the time. Kilmer was 36, and Theismann was 26 and 75. So anybody else here we know? Mark Mosley. Oh, Mosley was kicking back then. I wonder how old Mosley was in 75. Didn't he win like the title one year? So Mark Mosley was 27. I didn't think he was that old, but he was. A lot of household names here. Manny Sistrunk. There's a lot of Sistrunks I noticed in the league. There's Otis and Manny. I thought there was one more too. Yeah, I'm not noticing a lot of guys here that I know. Okay, so there's Theismann. All righty, he's got a 2 on a 66, and that'd be a touchdown. And anybody else here? Rusty Tillman? Yeah. So let me check Billy Kilmer one last time. So here's Billy Kilmer for Washington. So he's got a 2 on a 66 and an 11. So I think those are automatic touchdowns, aren't they? So that's what Billy Kilmer looks like on that team. What else did I want to look at for 75? I looked at the Cowboys, right? I looked at the Cowboys. I looked at the Steelers. I looked at the Vikings. I think we looked at the Rams. So, yeah, here's the thing about 75 is I'm looking at the records here. So you got the Colts were 10-4, the Dolphins were 10-4, the Bills were 8-6, and then New England and New York were 3-11. And it's kind of the same in the Central: 12-2, 11-3, 10-4, and then the Browns were 3-11. And then the West, you got the Raiders at 11-3, and then everyone else is under 500. The Broncos, Chiefs, and Chargers are all under 500. In the NFC East, you got Dallas, St. Louis, and Washington, and then the Giants and the Eagles are terrible. In the Central, it's just Minnesota, and everybody else is less than 500 or 500. And then you get the Rams, 12-2, and San Francisco 5-9, Atlanta 4-10, and New Orleans 2-12. So you get, one team in the Central and one team in the West that's better than 500. In fact, they're both 12-2, and everyone else is 500 or less. So this is one of those weird seasons where you got some fantastic teams, and then you have some teams that are just awful, really awful. I'm interested to see Baltimore, because Baltimore won the division at 10-4. So let's see who Baltimore had. So this is going to be Atlanta. I don't really know anything about Atlanta. Was 4-10. I'm not even sure. Aside from Bartkowski, he's the only guy I'm going to know on Atlanta that I think. So I'm not too concerned about Atlanta because they were pretty terrible. Buffalo was 8-6. And I'm pretty sure they had OJ at this point. But all right, let's take a look here at Baltimore Colts. Okay. Let me see. Burt Jones was with the Colts. Yeah, we're going to take a look at him right now. For the Cardinals, you can run the ball with Otis and Metcalf and throw it to Mel Gray. Yep. I was doing that in 78. Otis was running like a fiend for me. Honey, the receiver cards, basically, they have grades. When I find them, I'll show you here. So this is Baltimore. All right, so there's a receiver. So Roger Carr, okay, he's an end back. So he's a 3 when he plays ends, which is average at best. So what's going to happen here is his pass receiving is a B. All right. So his pass receiving is B2. It means that they passed to him, I think, semi regularly. So pass receiving is a B. So when you go to throw the pass, you want A receivers followed by B and then C. C is the worst receiver. So what happens is you're going to throw the pass to Carr. You figure out the defense on the other side, and let's just say the other team's defense is C. You're playing C, D. Okay, if you know anything about Apple football, so that's going to be a C defense, and you're playing D for deep. Well, he would bump this up, that C to a B. Okay, so anytime you're playing in a C index is what it's called, he would bump that up to a B. So that's how you use the receiver cards. You're only really using the passer rating. However, in situations where someone does return a kick or actually picks up a fumble or anything like that, you will use the card over here. The receivers are probably the least used cards out of all of them as far as rolling dice on. You're really only grabbing the receiving rating because all passes come off the quarterback card. But depending on what chart you're looking at is very dependent on the receivers. So that's how they work. So see, here's Raymond Chester. Now, Raymond Chester's an A. All right, so you can see that he's a on the pass receiving. So Raymond Chester is going to be reading off the A column, unless you roll a C defense, and then it'll drop down to a B. But that's the only time an A can drop down below an A is if the other team is in a C defense. Otherwise, anything A or B stays A. So you want to have an A receiver. Let's see who else we got here on the Baltimore Colts. Monty Domers. He's the backup quarterback. Dowdy and Dutton. Joe Ehrman's a tackle. Okay, there's Burt Jones. So Burt Jones has got a 2 on a 66 and a 3 on an 11. But he's got a K rating here. So if you roll 11, 33, or 66 on a run, you go to the K column. So he was a pretty good runner. That's what that means. So if you're scrambling with Jones, he's going to do some running for you. In fact, let me check that out real quick. Let me back that up here. So Baltimore in 75, Burt Jones, he ran for 321 yards. So you had Mitchell and Jones. Jones was their second leading rusher on the team. It was Burt Jones, followed by Bill Olds and Don McCauley and Roosevelt Leaks. But Mitchell had 1193. Lydell Mitchell had 1,193 yards. So that Colts team is going to be fun too. Again, they finished 10-4. The Colts did. And so how would a monster receiver season distinguish himself from the rest? Well, he'd be an A, obviously, and you'd probably throw to him more because he would have a higher. Again, that's all you would need to do is just look for the rating on receiving. So you would just throw to him more. And so, what I do is when I play a game, usually it's going to be an as-played game, I look to see who got the most passes thrown to him, and I put him on the top of my pile, so I would throw to him more. So you would have an A receiver, and you would just throw to him a lot more than everybody else. Again, you don't want to overuse him and cheat and just throw to him every single time. So Lee and Linhart, those are your kickers. Cloud, McCauley. There's Lydell Mitchell there. So that'd be interesting to see if I get around to playing the full season. Can I get him up to closer to what did I say he had for yards? Was it 1193? 1193. He played all 14 games and he almost had 1,200 yards. That's kind of cool. So in this situation, you would just run Mitchell over and over and over. That's what you would do. It'd just be the Mitchell show because no one else ran nearly as much as he did. And that's what's going to be fun about 75 is just kind of like you take your running back and you run him till he drops. Now, Bill Olds, he was third, being the fullback here. He was third in rushing after Jones. Freddie Scott was an end. Bill Troop. I think he played in the playoff game actually because Jones kept getting hurt, and so they ended up taking Troop in the game. So I was watching highlights, and yeah, he went in and he was like 2 for 11 or something like that. If I get my games not mixed up. And it's some more Rick Volk, Jackie Wallace, and Stan White. So that's your Baltimore team right there. We'll take a quick look at Buffalo. All righty. So what do we have for the Bills? Now they were what were the Bills in '75? They were 8-6. So anybody here that we know? Chandler, the receiver. He's the only guy I know. Joe Ferguson, there's your quarterback. He's got a 1 on a 66, which is an automatic touchdown. He's got a 2 over here on the 11. Anyone else we know here? Reuben Gant, I've heard of. I should know these guys because they were playing the Patriots quite a bit. But again, this is when I really just kind of get into football with 75. So some of these guys are still going to be very foreign to me. There's your backup quarterback, Morangi. McCrumbly. Is there a better name in football than McCrumbly? Parker. Rudd. No, there's OJ. So he's got a K on 11, 33, and 55. So he's going to be taken off on any of those. And don't know too many of these guys here. Did I see Ferguson? Was he the quarterback? Yeah, no. Who was the quarterback for Buffalo in '75? I thought it was Ferguson. It was. How come I don't see Ferguson in here? Did I mess up on Joe Ferguson? No, there he is. Okay. That's Joe Ferguson. So that was him with the Bills. Oh, let me see. I don't think we really need to see Chicago, do we? Chicago was pretty bad. So we can just put Chicago off to the side over here. Cincinnati was decent. Let's take a look at the Cincinnati team here. Cleveland was dreadful, so we don't need to look at Cleveland, but we'll get a quick idea what goes on. So Cincinnati was 11-3. And some of their better guys, obviously Anderson, we know. Booby Clark. Yep, he was a good running back. Essex Johnson. So, Dave Green was the kicker. That's right. He was there before he went to Tampa Bay that's where careers go. Will OJ be wearing the glove? I don't know. There's your Ken Anderson right there, right off the bat. He's all that we really need to show. What do we say? Booby. Was it Booby McDaniel? What was Boobies again? Come on. What was Booby? It was Booby Clark. So Booby Clark would be right about here. There he is. There's Booby Clark for you. That's going to be Cincinnati. So, yeah. So, anyway. All right. So, we'll let me kill my extra camera here. There we go. And let's put me back over here. So, that is that. So, went with 75. So, that's my mystery season here. And we did get one guy that got, I think the Texas Ags got that right. 75. So, yeah, I mean, I do have 76, and I like 76. I just think that something about the teams before. Hang on a second, I'm going to bounce you around and put my camera back. There we go. Something about that 75 season before the Bucks and before the Seahawks come in that just intrigues me. And again, still having Roman Gabriel and Len Dawson available to play, and Billy Kilmer. It's got me intrigued. These are guys that I remember, at Christmas time, we'd get all these, I'd get books, as a kid, and I would get like these NFL record books, and on the cover would be all these guys from '75, and then you open it up and you read about Billy Kilmer and OJ, and you just that was just growing up. That was the thing. Sorry about that, but just can't get this camera to focus in. So that was kind of like 75 was right when I started following this, and I just remember, all these names from the past, and they're all in here, and I don't know if I'm gonna do the full season or not, or if I just play some select games so I can play Len Dawson and Roman Gabriel in their twilight years, and just have some fun with it, or if I want to kind of play out the season in full. Because, but the only thing about doing that is what I just mentioned. There's so many top teams, but there's so many teams that were just so bad under 500 that, boy, I don't know if I want to be playing Browns and Saints. I don't know anybody on those teams, and they're terrible. So, but anyway, all right. So hey, so I'm Dave. Thanks for tuning into this mystery unboxing as we had some fun here. Hopefully we had some fun. So I picked up a hockey season there so I can play in 75, and really looking forward to playing some of these teams here. So thanks to Uncle Ron for helping me out with this here, and we shall talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.